Hello, everyone, and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today, we're doing something a little different by casting a 4-on-4. Now, I've never done this before, so you'll have to excuse me if I make mistakes, look away at the wrong times, do anything silly or stupid. This is the first time I'm casting a 4-on-4. I'm going to do my best, but I hope everyone enjoys, and let's just dive right into it because I'm sure this is going to be a very exciting game. As I said, this is a 4-on-4. If I zoom out, you can see that we are on Nomad. Now, Nomad is a map where everyone starts with a certain number of villagers and has to build their town centers at certain locations. Now, 4-on-4s are obviously much more complicated than that because you have to let your teammates know where you're building, what you're building, coordinate strategies. It's not a simple map. As you can see, there's a bit of water here to the northeast with a land bridge that can connect the two. Overall, a much more complicated form of game than a standard 1v1, obviously. Now, I'm not going to get into the individual civilizations that the players are playing, but let's take a look at the teams. On one hand, we have Clan DarkSidE with Sebastian, Carbo, Levy, and Beery. Let's try to find where they're located. So Sebastian has built his town center, I would say, at the 4 o'clock position of the map. Beery, our orange Gurjara player, has built his in the center, very close to his partner, Levy. So these two clan partners are very close. Expect to see some fun, exciting things out of them. A turkey trying to sneak its way by, but gets caught and conscripted into the DarkSidE team. The last member of DarkSidE, we have Carbo in purple playing as the Gurjaras as well, or rather the Franks, I'm sorry. Has a, I would call this the, let's say, the 12 o'clock position. Now, if you take a look at the top of the screen, you'll see that it's Team DarkSidE versus Team North America, but what you don't see is it's +1. I guess one of the players on this team does not actually come from North America. Let's take a look. We have Hasan in blue in the 3 o'clock position, playing right next to his team partner, Ink, as the Ethiopians in the 2 o'clock position. Then we have green and black also side by side at the 9 o'clock position of the map. So let's take a look at how the map looks at the bottom of the screen. So these two are together here. These two are together here. So Team North America automatically split between the west side of the island and the east side of the island. Now, this is not Lost, so there's no magical properties on this island, just a good old-fashioned game of Age of Empires. Team DarkSidE, on the other hand, a couple of interesting things. So we already saw how these two players, Levy and Beery, are very close together. That being said, they are also very close to Team North America's Western expansion. I think purple is so far in the best position of the game because look at this location. He's completely alone here. There's no enemies. Yellow, on the other hand, oh god, okay. The reason I say oh god is because this might seem like a good location, but if I drift out and move slightly to the northeast, Sebastian is alone here against 2 Team North America players. His closest ally is all the way here. That is a long distance. So I would say in terms of best positioning and worst positioning, both those awards go to Team DarkSidE. Worst positioning of the game here for Sebastian, best positioning here for Carbo. This is the Achilles heel. This is going to potentially haunt them. I hope I'm wrong for their sake. I don't know if I am or not. We'll see as the game progresses, but my hunch is telling me that Team North America, if they scout the fact that he is alone here, are going to exert a good amount of pressure on him. Now, the interesting thing about this map is players can go land or they can go sea. So we'll see which team decides to focus more on land, which on sea, whether it'll be split. Let's take a look at the team bonuses for now, just as quickly, while the players collect their herdables and try to essentially go up to feudal as fast as possible, explore the waters around them. Team bonuses become very, very important, especially in a 4v4. Team DarkSidE, the Poles, Scout Cavalry have extra attack against Archer. The Gurjaras, Camel and Elephants units are created faster Italians give their teammates the ability to build condottieri out of barracks, and Franks give knights an extra 2 line of sight. On the other hand, Team America, the Tatars, mounted archers get 2 line of sight. The Chinese give every one of their teammates 10% extra when the farms start, and Ethiopians extra line of sight for towers and outposts, and the Japanese 50% more line of sight for their galleys. So in terms of, I would say, civilizational bonuses, I would give this to DarkSidE, simply because the North American bonuses all seem to be line of sight, which are great in the early stages of the game, but not particularly useful as the game progresses, as you become, you build your first market, and you get to see what all your partners are seeing. Line of sight is important, it always is, but becomes much less important. I would rather have the ability for all 4 civs to build condottieri, faster camels, faster elephants, and have extra attack against archers. That's just me, though. Let's see what the players are doing. Let's go one by one. So, Influenza. 23 villagers, 7 fishing ships. Fairly standard opening for him. Hasan, 21 villagers, 7 fishing ships. And where are those? They are here to the, I guess, what is this? The 830 position of the map. Ink, our teal player with Ethiopians, is sitting on 21 villagers, 6 fishing boats, and Rory is sitting on 18 villagers and 7 fishing boats. So all the players on Team North America doing almost the exact same build order, getting to be around 20 or so villagers, about 6 or 7 fishing boats, and going up to feudal. Now, Team DarkSidE. What do we have here? Levy, 19 villagers, 5 fishing boats. His fishing production is here, but he is already building galleys. Galley 1, Galley 2. This is by virtue of him having reached feudal first. His partner, Beery, who is the orange player just south of his base, has also just reached feudal, is sitting on 19 villagers, 5 fishing ships, and their partners, Carbo, who, as I said, I think is the best situated in this game, 24 villagers, 8 fishing ships to the south of the map, and last but not least, Sebastian, who, as I said, is the worst situated in this game, is sitting on 24 villagers, 8 fishing ships. Half the players on both teams are now up to feudal. Let's see what kind of aggression comes out. This map, if you haven't played it before, would not recommend this map for a noob or someone just starting out, unless you're also playing against other noobs. And I don't mean the fake kind of noobs that pretend they're beginners and then just destroy everyone. You have to play against real noobs, because having to build a town center from scratch and begin allocating villagers from scratch is a little different than what most of us are used to when we play a random 1v1. Also, I don't think there was a treaty in this game, so players did not have an opportunity to explore the map. Otherwise, I don't think Sebastian would have built his base all the way here, secluded and alone in the direct line of sight of 2 of his enemies. I think there was no treaty, and therefore players just plopped down their town centers as fast as possible. Overall, I would give positioning here to Team North America, I would say. I like the fact that DarkSidE has claimed the center of the base, and that purple has a town center here completely. Look, I'm going to zoom out. Look how far he has to expand without running into a single other player. This is a huge chunk of the map. Notwithstanding that, I do like the fact that Team North America has split their bases into 2 on the left and 2 on the right. We'll see how the game progresses, but it does give them a chance to pack a punch, especially if they're attacking one player. I think purple is in a good position, but could get backed into a corner. In any event, as I ramble on, the players are actually playing the game. 2 members of DarkSidE are up to castle, but 3 members of Team North America are up to castle as well. We have some small water-based engagements happening on the map. Levy wins those engagements handily, despite the fact that he was fighting fire ships, and he's going up to 11 galleys. Oh, apologies for that little glitch. I lost 10 seconds of the game recording. My recording software glitched out a little bit. nothing too tremendous happening. We have markers going down all over the map, alerts. We've got fire galleys. We've got regular galleys. A second town center here going down for our Ethiopian player. I do apologize. I'm going to randomly use players' names, players' colors, players' civilization. Influenza, not to be outdone, also plops down a second town center. So in terms of town centers, Team North America, oh wow, Ethiopian player plopping down a third. I wonder if he's planning on slinging our blue Tatar player. For those of you not familiar with what slinging is, essentially one of your teammates does not build any military at all, builds pure economic, and then just gifts those resources to another team member so that that team member can build as much military as possible. Okay, everyone is up to castle except for a few players. Those up to castle are now building additional town centers. We have a small engage here with some cavalry. Influenza catching out some of Beery's workers. Will they finish this tower? 91%. He is right-clicking his heart out, but oh, and it just goes up right as the villager, right as the knights were about to attack the villager, it does go up. Okay, we've got Tatari cavalry archers, their specialty making their way, but they're a little bit trapped here underneath the tower in its no firing zone. Let's see if they can tickle away the HP of this tower. At the same time, yeah, now Influenza's town center is under attack by this one tower. Not the craziest of pressures here by our orange Gurjara. Another town center going down. We've got a naval engagement approaching. Purple is about to attack Black's ships here. The Tatari cavalry archer still being annoying. Okay, he moves them, decides, you know what, I build your tower. I don't care. I'm going to attack it with villagers? Okay. So he moves 3 villagers in here and a cavalry archer who's just hanging out. I mean, I would move this, right? And here comes Influenza with siege, so he'll clear up these towers fairly easily. That's a lot of cavalry and siege against only 4 very badly bruised spearmen. Okay, Levy, I would turn around if I was you. I mean, you're passing Hasan's infrastructure here. Where are you going with these 5 galleys? We'll keep an eye on them and see a huge naval engagement here. What are we working with? Levy's 4 galleys against Rory's 6 fire ships, 2 galleys, and a turkey that I accidentally highlighted. Again, as I told you guys, apologies, first time casting a 4-on-4. Very excited to do so, but also I realize as the first one, I'm going to make a whole bunch of mistakes, like saying the wrong names, words, etc., and highlighting turkeys instead of military units. Okay, Sebastian here going for a good counter to these cavalry archers. I wish he would have waited a little bit more to produce maybe 1 or 2 more knights before engaging, because yeah, there's another group that Hasan broke off that are going for a little bit of a reach around, but I don't think they're going to accomplish much here. The perfectly placed house here by Sebastian blocks off access to this juicy mineral line that has 0 defense to it. So great by him. Massive water battle here. Let's just watch. I mean, you'd like to think that Levy is going to take this by virtue of numbers, but these fire ships, oh, he's got to be careful. Demolition ships. Okay, changes all the mathematics, does that demolition ship. So we now have 2 fire ships. I mean, they'll do a whole bunch of damage. As I say that, they all die, of course. On the other hand, does Levy care? And again, I apologize if I'm saying these players' name wrong. Levy, Levi, just let me know in the comments. If you are watching this, our red Italian player, I do apologize. You are building a 3rd command center. Sorry, I was watching a bit too much StarCraft. The 3rd town center. A 3rd town center going down for Rory as well. I mean, I like this. I'm going to zoom out here. This is the blue-teal combo. Look at this expansion onto the map. Green has... Okay, so green has spotted where purple is. He's got... Influenza has 1 villager here. I wonder if it's for a sneak attack. But as I said, look at purple. Just completely unbothered, completely unharassed. I mean, his navy, his entire naval presence is gone. He's got 1 fishing ship left, but our Frank player says, I don't care. I'm going to play to the strengths of my civ, which is these guys right here. The Knights, Knight Don Quixote making his way across the map to do something. We'll see what. Perhaps attack Levy, who himself is still being annoying, manages to catch all of the infrastructure, all the houses here of our teal Ethiopian. Always a risk in these kinds of maps that are ringed by water is if you know, instinctively we like to wall ourselves off in Age of Empires. Most of us do. But when you wall yourself off here, you're opening yourself up to a counterattack from the water. Influenza says, I've had enough. Here I come with 2 mangonels in perfect positioning here to get that town center. Not too sure. I don't think this wall is going down anytime soon. Maybe better use. I mean, he must know that, right? So I think this is just here to telegraph to Beery not to attack these mangonels. Although Beery anytime can demolish this one house and jump in with his camel scouts. I apologize. I clicked the camel scouts expecting to be moved to them. They're in the stable. At any moment, he can demolish this house and charge right in with the camels to get rid of those 2 mangonels. Okay. And Levy just being annoying with these galleys. Let's take a look at the while all these engages are going down across the map. Oh wow, our Ethiopian player is really building infrastructure. He's taking advantage of that Ethiopian higher firing or more frequent firing. I think it's 18% faster. Their archers fire, so good move by him. And we've got our first second castle being built here for our purple Frankish player who says, you know what, I'm here all alone. No point in me building a castle up here. I'm just going to support my teammates. Our yellow singled out Polish, or should I say Polish pole player, wisely putting down a castle. I mean, he knows he's on his own. Let's see his vision. Yeah, he's seen both bases. He's seen blue and teal. So he knows he's up against it. He knows that purple is very far away. Red is very far away. Now green is plopping down his own castle. And like I said, he demolished the house, invaded with his own camels, and took the day. I wish I could have seen that. Maybe I'll include a in-video screen right now or previously of that battle. And here come the Tatari cavalry archers. I mean, there's not a lot of high ground here for them. There's some here, but you know, that's one of the cool thing about the Tatars is that instead of getting the usual 25% extra attack on a hill, if they're higher than you, they get 50% extra attack. Okay, I mean, obviously, Leva, you should disengage from here. You're outnumbered, what, 6-1, 6-2, 8-2 now. But he's being annoying. I think he's got the biggest navy, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look at our compositions. Our Polish yellow player is sitting on 1 mangonel and 1 scorpion. Our orange Gurjara player, Beery, is sitting on 9 camels. His partner immediately to the north, our red Italian, is, as I said, dominating the water. And our purple Frank is building monks and knights. So, opposing this, our teal Ethiopian, who is now up to Imperial Age first. And here come the annoying Ethiopian arbalests and a bombard cannon. So his military is got this firmly in hand. His partner, Rory, let's take a look at what he's building. 1 knight and 1 monk. So he's building fire ships. He wants to contest Levi's. He wants to contest Red's water control, basically. Our green Influenza seems to have a decent-sized cavalry force. Oh, nice. 10 Chukanus and 6 camels. And lastly, our blue Tatari is going balls to the wall cavalry archer. So 23 cavalry archers. He is going to be annoying to deal with by yellow, who is still sitting on 1 mangonel and 1 scorpion. His castle is now in jeopardy from this bombard cannon. We've got a second bombard cannon making its way over. This barracks was deleted to make room for a trebuchet, so this castle is not long for this world. At the same time, purple is helping to defend black's incursion into red's base here. And this is what I was talking about. So take a look at the mini-map at the bottom of your screen. Yellow is all alone here. purple, red, and orange are all conglomerating into the center of the map. So will this strategy work for them? I mean, this is a huge chunk of map that they have laid claim to. Castles everywhere. I mean, this is an enemy castle, but nonetheless, we have a purple castle here that's at 85% construction. Another castle for Influenza going down. So castles, you know, this is what happens in Castle Age. I wonder if that's why it's called Castle Age. LOL, just kidding. In Castle Age, it becomes a rush to, especially on maps like Nomad, to see who builds castles faster and in better locations. I think so far the water war has been abandoned by all the teams. I'm looking at the various units that the players have. I mean, Team DarkSidE has no navy except for Red's war galleys, which are on the 3 o'clock position, at the 3 o'clock position, doing absolutely nothing. So our players are now committed to land. But speaking of land, what do we have? Our Frankish player is finally producing cavaliers as he's up to Imperial. We've got Genoese crossbows and camels. Yellow is in big trouble. He is still sitting on 1 mangonel, 1 scorpion. What does he plan on doing? How is he planning on responding to the joint Tatari Ethiopian pressure? I mean, this mangonel, excuse me, only has 3 kills. The scorpion, apparently, while I was looking away, is dead. Arbalests to the north. Cavalry archers in the center. Cavalry archers used to be in the south until the mangonel killed them. Yeah, just look at the mini-map. I'm going to zoom out. Look at yellow. He's about to be engulfed by this blue and teal wave. And yeah, here we go. Here goes the Exodus. I wonder why... Purple must have scouted the land bridge by now, or his teammates. He must know that he can go through here. I wonder if Purple is going to attack our teal Ethiopian through any kind of side engagement. 2 Japanese castles. When 1 isn't enough, 2 red trebuchets slowly working their way. Let's see who has the most trebs. Our red player has a bombard cannon and 5 trebs. That's essentially all of the siege for Team DarkSidE. On the other hand, Team North America +1, 2 rams, 2 bombard cannons, 2 trebs, and a ram. So advantage in terms of siege going to Team North America, plus these Chukanus. Oh lord, I mean, probably better uses for them than clearing up 1 annoying piece of wall. Wisely decides to back away from the town center, which has 8 villagers inside. But here comes Red's trebs, and blue has been overwhelmed. Yellow has been overwhelmed. Town center here with a bunch of villagers doing very little stone mining. Okay, we'll keep an eye on these villagers to see where they're running away to. But yeah, yellow is rebuilding his infrastructure inside purple's base, or rather in the space between purple's base and red's base. Found himself a little corridor here. This is a very ambitious location for a mining camp. I mean, they'll see this and get rid of these villagers in a matter of minutes. I thought he was attacking his own bombard cannon for some strange reason. No, it just happens to be a glitch in positioning. A defensive Gurjara castle here. I wonder what for. I mean, this is a hard location to defend. You have no army here. Engagement going on. Here come the Chukanus, but they are in the side. 2 castle firing ranges, and that means there's a whole bunch of them dead here. I would love to see a mass engage right now. Amazing. Deletes the walls. Here we go. Frankish paladins, look at their HP. 192. Genoese crossbowmen, they should be targeting these mounted archers, no? I mean, I don't know who takes this. I'd love to give it to the Frankish paladins, except especially with the additional reinforce. Yeah, their HP is just way too much. With the Genoese crossbows in support and a few bombard cannons. Okay, so Team DarkSidE pushing out into the center of the map, but our black Japanese player, Rory, is roaring into the side of their base. I mean, this isn't a crazy army. We've got a bunch of pike, but it doesn't have to be crazy. There's nothing here to respond to it. This army can just be as annoying as it wants to be. All the siege is being repaired. Fantastic play here, but this is what I was talking about. My fear for Team DarkSidE. They're doing well in the center. They're pushing in. But on the right side, on the east side, they're being demolished here by Ethiopian bombards and Trebs. On the western left side, they're being attacked by Japanese siege, although that's thwarted for a very brief minute. This castle should go down, I mean, fairly easily. There's nothing here to defend it, no units to defend it. But Rory does have to back up. He has to respect the wider range of this castle. Not a great movement. Not great movement here by our Purple Frank player, entering the kill zone of two various castles. These paladins are... I don't know what that was for. There's nobody firing on him. Yeah, I would love to see a monk here. Underused unit in actual battles. Okay. I'm really shocked that neither team is using this land bridge to advance any kind of sneaky side attack. Although, do they really even need to? Look at the Ethiopian Tatari ranged units. We have... My god, this is a lot of units here. I'm just gonna highlight all of them. 62 Arbalists, 26 Cav Archers, 5 Bombards, and a Treb, and their heavy cavalry archers. Our Japanese player advancing to the west. As I said, I don't expect this castle to last very long. The attack from DarkSidE in the center has been thwarted, but he will catch a juicy kill here. There we go. 3 Trebs go down. I mean, these Chukanus are great, but they have to be careful because here come 6 Bombard Cannons. But those Bombard Cannons have to be careful too. Oh, fantastic attack rounds, if that's what that was. Has to retreat. I mean, Chukanus are amazing, but left alone, I'm not sure they'll be able to handle 6 Bombard Cannons. Massive engage here on the east. Frankish Paladins against Tatari heavy cavalry. I mean, this is adorable, right? I mean, you send what you can. Unupgraded Camel Archers, 46 minutes into a 4v4 Nomad game. This castle slowly being picked away at. I fear now for Team DarkSidE. They've been backed into... I'm going to zoom out. They've been backed into this corner. It's a big corner, don't get me wrong. But they've been backed into this corner. Team North America controls the east, the south, which is basically empty right now, and the east. So, positional advantage here very much for Team North America. Genoese crossbows versus Chukanus en masse. Let's see who wins this. Flaming arrows flying everywhere. Oh no, the Bombard support is just going to shred through these green archers. Yeah, and DarkSidE takes this fight handily, but unfortunately for it, or maybe not unfortunately, 26 Paladins. HP is, if you take a look at the bottom of your screen, one of the cool features of Capture Age, which is what I'm using, is if you highlight all the units, it tells you all the relative HP. So our Frankish Paladin, even though it has... or our Frankish player, rather, even though he... Okay. I'm just going to finish the thought. Even though he had fewer units, just their tankiness compared to these flimsy HP, I mean, 40 HP is very flimsy. Even though he had fewer units, the HP is much higher for him, just by virtue of the fact that each one of these units has 5 times the HP of one of these units. So, as I suspected in the beginning of the game, unfortunately, I wish we had a 5-minute treaty in the beginning. Sebastian's base location is... oh, sorry, in case you didn't see, Team North America +1 is victorious. The most produced unit is the Frankish Paladin. Amazing. Look at that peak APM. I mean, I hope that's for one player, not for all 4. Otherwise, you know, Team North America would be in trouble. But Team DarkSidE with a crazy APM, 289. That being said, still not enough. Take a look at the military count. DarkSidE sitting at 80 villagers less and 120 military supply less. So as I suspected, Sebastian's location was the first to fall and was the domino, the Achilles heel of the entire DarkSidE team. I mean, otherwise they were doing quite okay. I wouldn't say they were doing particularly well. They managed to push out into the map, but this contested area here, which was contested the entire game, still remains contested, so no progress here. Orange's base has been completely dislodged by Influenza, who has taken up residence where he used to be. Rory is pushing in, roaring in. Sorry, I'm going to stop making that pun. He's coming in with onagers, Trebs, What does he have? He's got 5 Trebs and 2 Onagers, 20 Halbs, and that's basically it. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, our DarkSidE team, for their sake, got backed into this corner. And even though it's a huge corner, I mean, look at the available space here. There's no place to build infrastructure. Our Frankish player is the one, I think, with the most infrastructure here. 9 stables just within this one screen. They were pushed into the corner, and this entire area of the map. Look at how many excuse me. I think the mic glitched again. Apologies for that. Look at how much stone there is here. 6,300 stone up for grabs, 9,600 gold up for grabs, and a whole bunch of food and wood. So by virtue of abandoning the southern position, I mean, they never had, no team had a presence here, but by virtue of abandoning it to kind of clump in one location on the map, in the center of the map here, Team DarkSidE completely gave up map control, which to be fair, they had no choice but to do that once Sebastian's base fell. I mean, good for Sebastian for rebuilding, not giving up, not quitting, but I wish we could have seen this land bridge used for more action, more side stabs. But overall, fantastic game. I'm glad this was my first 4-on-4. A lot of action, a lot of big armies, a lot of clashes. Who doesn't love to see masked Frank paladins? I mean, it takes me back to 1998, 2001 era of Frank Wars, of 1v1 Arabia. But overall, I think the geography just worked against Team DarkSidE, and the Achilles heel here proved to be exactly that. Once Sebastian fell and had to relocate his entire base, his entire infrastructure, I mean, he's building 8 stables, and as the Poles, he can, produce a very good, very strong cavalry line, but too little too late. Rory's pushing in from the west. Influenza is pushing in from the south. A joint combination of a shit ton of archers. I'm going to highlight them again. 59 Arbalests, 23 heavy calves, and 2 turkeys. There they are. The most important, the mascots of the army, the standard bearers. Yeah, without Sebastian really contributing militarily, and what does Sebastian have? Only villagers and fishing ships. Without him contributing militarily, I mean, he has a good amount of. Take a look at the bottom right of your screen. He's got a good amount of food and gold. He could sling that to his partners, but I don't think they have time. And just positionally, they're completely under attack. It was only a matter of time until Team North America also decided to either land some units from the water or use this land bridge to attack from the east. There's literally nothing here to defend this. This is a completely open side of the base. I'm surprised neither team walled this off or used this or even cared that it's here. Overall, a fantastic action-packed game. I'm going to try to cast more of these, and hopefully everyone enjoyed them. And I appreciate both teams, both Team DarkSidE and Team North America, for the valiant effort they put in just trying to bash each other's brains out. Not in real life, of course. But overall, GG to both teams. Overall, GG to all 8 players. Fantastic game. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.